but she doesn't mind, 'cause it's her home. She's my Molokai woman. She's my Molokai woman. She's my Molokai woman. Every day she works across the sea, bound for Lahaina town. At the end of the day, she returns to Molokai, to Molokai. And she comes home to her castle, never complain about the day. After working hard, she works at home. She's my Molokai woman. She's my Molokai woman. Yeah. Yeah. Think about him every night and day. Can live without her, can live without her. Every weekend night is a party night, inviting everyone from all around. From Kaunakakai to Halavasai, everybody from every town. I wanna tell everybody about this pretty lady, what she always really loved to do. She hug and kiss and love almost anyone. She might even be loving you. I'll comfort you when you're crying. I'll hold you in my arms, let you know. This love of ours is bounded forever and ever. Oh, my Molokai woman, I love you so. On the holy day, you'll see her by the shore, playing with the children. I thank the Lord, yes, I thank the Lord once more. She's my Molokai woman. She's my Molokai woman. She's my Molokai woman. Every day. She's my Molokai woman. Oh, my Molokai girl. She's my Molokai woman. Don't you let this love fade away. She's my Molokai woman. Oh, my Molokai. She's my Molokai woman. She's my Molokai woman. She's my Molokai woman. She's my
Three things for a longer life and happier family: wash your hands, wear your mask, stand apart. In our family, we've got keiki, we've got kupuna, and we're always conscious about how close we are to people, especially for me. I'm high risk as a cancer survivor. So it's about the we, not the me. It's a kako thing. So make sure that you stand together by standing apart. have leftovers.
Leftovers.
Wait. Oh, what is this?
Making it rain with one.
Thank you. I'm glad you were making it rain. For a moment, I was worried that you were trying to put it in my mouth. I was like, no.
It doesn't last too long.
That's a different show. How's it, everybody? Aloha no, aloha kako. Welcome to the first, well, it's not the first Friday, but it's the first working Friday, so we're back to our regular show. Mahalo to our solid brown dancers for being here. Mahalo to Guy is also in the studio. Guy, just show your hand there on the side. Yeah, there it is. Here he is. Oh, can you show that sign, by the way? Today is Friday. It is H Day, so where's your H gear? Even though we don't have any games right now at the moment, if you got your H gear, get your H gear on. And here's another one for you. Magnum PI is on tonight on CBS. So they, of course, film right here in Hawaii, so we want to make sure that we are repping them. And so when you get the chance, Magnum PI, hashtag Magnum PI, there you go. Okay, so make sure that you are watching and on CBS All Access. Guy, I'll let you take that. Thank you very much. Okay, hey, here we go with the show. Hope you are having a wonderful Aloha Friday. It's been busy, and there have been lots of things happening on a national scale, on an international scale, and even here at home. But a lot of that we're going to put onto the side for a little while so we can breathe, have some fun, smile a little while. We'll go into things that we're needing to talk about, though, here in our Hawaii that have global and national implications, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Wow, the comments are coming through strong. Thank you so much, and I appreciate that. Just a reminder, when you comment here on the show, there's a possibility we might use your comments during the week. You might see them on the social media, the posts, and we appreciate them very, very much. Let's go ahead and go housekeeping notes real quickly before we go and check in with the gallery. Just as always, if you are on YouTube, well, then, that way, there it is. You can always, we're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, so any that you can help us, make sure that you do that, and we appreciate it very much. On the Facebook side, the like button, if you can hit that, and the share button, we appreciate that very much. All right, let's get into the gallery, and wow, there is a lot of people here, so we're saying hi to Raynette is always here. Laura, as a matter of fact, liked our Magnum PI sign last week, so we appreciate that, and she is here. Rie is always here. We appreciate that. Just a reminder, Jaslyn is our moderator today. She's both on the Facebook side and on the YouTube side as well. Ku'u's here, says hi to Tracy.
Hi, Goo.
And forgot today was Friday until my notification came. Then you realized, hey, it is the weekend. Thank you. Thank you very much. So to go, thank you very much for being on. Appreciate you being here. Let me see as we go down the list. Maria Castanis, thank you so much, from Toronto, Canada. Over on the Florida border, I don't know if it's on the border, it's in Florida, so it's kind of in the middle. Kevin is there. Appreciate that. Don't want to forget anybody here. Gail is here. Kathy Hess is here too, and the fantastic crew. There you go.
Hi, Mom.
Is that Mom?
That's Mom.
That's Mom. Hi, Mom. Hey, that's awesome. Oh, thank you. Welcome to the show. Jenny is here from always, as she is from Atlanta. And yes, the notification did remind you. That's good. You know what? I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. There we go. Also, Lori from Florida. Kavika is online. Wonderful. And Mom has a reminder for you. It is now in Florida, wine o'clock.
Yeah.
Wine o'clock. That is an actual time. Yeah. Meanwhile, no, we got another 6 hours to go here in the Hawaiian Islands. No? Okay, they've already begun. Let's give you a look outside real quickly here, and we're going to go outside to, let's see here. Where are we going to? We'll go, Waimea Bay today. Okay, so Waimea Bay is where we are headed to. Look at it outside. Nice. Conditions are kind of partly cloudy, partly sunny, depending on where you are. And according to this here, it's a little bit of both. So you can see some people there in the background, in the waters. The waves are on the way down. It's kind of a little bit of both. It's funny because this morning was cold over the island of Oʻahu. Now wait a minute. Come back to me for a moment. We say that with a grain of salt because we realize that for some of you, 66 degrees is not cold. But, anyway, so For us, we got to put on the jackets. Mahalo to Jeebs de Barrio for his music that you hear in the background. So, live look outside on this Aloha Friday. All right, breaking news. This came out just a couple of hours ago. There was a new trailer that was released for a movie that was filmed in Hawaii. It's got Hawaii actors on it, and we're pretty interested to see because we know at least a couple of the actors that are in this, especially the smallest one. Well, you'll see in a moment. We'll only play a portion of it for you because we invite you to go and watch the whole trailer on their website. But the name of the movie is called Finding Ohana. Watch. So we'll just that's where we'll leave you, and we are looking forward to seeing that. That's going to be awesome. So I know Kavika says can't wait to see that. So yeah, that's going to be once again is going to be on streaming, and we'll have more details for you here and on the website. And by Monday morning, we'll have more details for you on Hawaii News Now Sunrise as well. So make sure. Oh no, wait, we won't. Oh no, I'll have to give it to the station. Sorry. I'm off on Monday, Tuesday. So I have a vacation coming up. It's a 4-day vacation. So as soon as I'm done with this show, I am on vacation, which means the other word for vacation, it means that my wife gets me to do whatever's on her honey-do list. So anyway, that's our breaking news for the day. Let's go ahead and get you some of the other news. There's been a number of people that we've been able to talk to this week, and it's been really interesting on some instances. For instance, first person that we are talking to is Kevin Aoki. He's got 1938 Indochine. Did I say that correctly? Indochine. That's down in Kaka'ako. So they've got sake Sunday brunch. They've got happy hour over there. So if you get the chance, go ahead and check them out. Sorry, I'm looking at my watch because it's all of a sudden vibrating a lot. And I realized the reason why is because everybody's putting up comments online. I love it. Keep the watch vibrating, but I'm going to take it off so I don't get distracted here, or else I will. So we talked to Kevin Aoki because, okay, not only does he have great restaurants, and actually I asked him to kind of tell me, the Aoki Group, what are the restaurants or the entities he has with Aoki Group?
We started out just with Doraku, and then we opened up Aoki Teppanyaki in Miami. And then we opened up Blue Tree, and then we got Chingmu, and then right now we just were able to get a new restaurant that my father started 50 years ago, which is called Rocky's. It's in the Hilton Hawaiian Village. My father opened this restaurant in 1971, which is about 50 years ago. And every summer he would take his kids to Hawaii, and we'd come out here and we'd enjoy Hawaii, and then we'd always eat at this restaurant. And when I was in 1998, my father, I was working for my dad, and he put me at this restaurant as a manager. So I stayed here for 2 years. I learned how to manage a restaurant. I learned to love Hawaii, and it gives great pleasure for me to come back around and now manage this restaurant for the family.
So this is awesome. So that means that the restaurant is coming back around into family hands, which is just absolutely, you don't see that a whole lot. So when you do, that a restaurant gets to get back into the family hands. Here's what it looks like from the outside. Rocky's Japanese style Teppan restaurant. So once again, Hilton Hawaiian Village is where it is located. And if you go inside, and sometimes you might see Kevin in there, taking a look, and they've got, pictures of the family and his dad and when it was Benihana of Tokyo. So really nice to be able to see that it's back into the family hands. If you get the chance, when they are open, go ahead and check it out. But there's the other places too. Doraku Sushi. They're actually the ones, Doraku is actually the ones that have the Sunday sake. And there's one over in the Royal Hawaiian Shopping Center. And then there's the one down in Kaka'ako side. But once again, Hilton Hawaiian Village, the brand new one there. Mahalo to Kevin Aoki for allowing us to get a chance to talk story with him. Talking about talk stories, there is a band that comes from the big island. You know them as Ho'aikane. Well, I got a chance to talk to Jamin Wong about an hour ago. Take a look. On this Aloha Friday, we're getting a chance to talk to a story with a gentleman who is a long-time member of the group Hoʻaikane. As a matter of fact, Chief Raga, it is the one and only Mr. Wong. How are you?
Aloha, Billy V. How's it? Aloha, Happy New Year.
Jamin Wong, right now joining us from Pohakuloa up on the slopes of Mauna Kea up on Hawaii Island.
Yes.
Brah, congratulations, brand new single that is out, and so you guys are going to be dropping a single every month?
Yes. It's a different era right now, with social media, and we're going to try a different approach. So every month we have a single pertaining to the month, like on February, we have a song called Heavenly coming out, and it's geared towards Valentine's and whatnot. But the plan is to release a single up to June, and then drop the album, which is called Back on the Porch. And that's a spin-off of Hoʻaikane's first album called On the Back Porch. So, it's coming in June, and singles dropping. This one, the one that drops, is called The Life of the Party.
Right. And the one before that is Honolulu Man, which is kind of what I want to jump into real quickly. And love and respect out to your family. Of course, your dad, original member of Hoʻaikane, and that song's dedicated to him, correct?
Right. Thank you. Yeah, my dad, Jameson K. Wong Sr., and he was our bass player, and everybody knows he was also a musician, especially on the Hawaiian music circuit out here. And I really wanted to do Hawaiian music, like Hoʻaikane does. We mix it up on our albums. I wish we had more of him doing recordings, but he left us 2 gems, and Punaluu Nani, down and hit the heart. So we had to put that out first as a free download on Spotify, just as a gift, as well as a tribute, but also an appreciation to the people for holding us down. 35 years, Billy.
I know.
35 years.
So tell me, who's in the band now?
Okay, so back is Uncle Russell Malga. He's the founding member. The name Hoʻaikane actually came from his tutu. So he actually has the ownership of the name Hoʻaikane. And so Uncle Russell is back. And we have Isaiah Tavares on ukulele. And Isaiah is Uncle Walter Tavares' son. Everybody know him as Ace, Ace was in the band previous, where I grew up learning how to play music. And Walter was one of my, big inspirations. Now his son stepped into his shoes, and he's holding his weight in gold. He wrote gems himself on this album. And we have Joby Wong on drums. Here's my little brother. I don't know if you remember him, Billy. He used to sit next to me at the Waikiki Shell when we did all the Hawaiian jams. And he sat right there next to me, and he would watch me play the drums. But now he's the drummer.
Wow.
And and then there's me. I do a lot of the keyboard work on the album. I play electric guitar now, stepped up to the front. And, right now, of course, because my dad is gone, we just take turns playing the bass until we can find the perfect fit and the perfect match for bass. But right now, we're not really concerned on that end. We're more concerned about getting music out back to the fans, streaming, and bringing the fans back around to see Hoʻaikane again, do our thing.
All right, real quickly here, you were also doing your own solo because you did collaboration. That was with a group out of South America and also with Natty Vibes, right?
Yes. Big up Natty Vibes, Brother Wayne Enos, Brother Penny, Brother Shane, Jehua, the whole crew. I went on, I think, 4 tours with Natty Vibes. Super fun. I didn't realize how big Natty Vibes was, man. They're big. Big band out there on the West Coast and out in the mainland. And, I was very grateful to get that opportunity to play at festivals with them. Also, before that, I was doing stuff with typical Hawaiians. Big up Brother Taz Vegas, Bruce Zulueta, Kikoman. Typical Hawaiians brought me back into the scene, after Hoʻaikane took our little break. And, I'm really appreciative to them. I'm also appreciative to the brothers from Ekolu, because when I actually got back into the game, Down in the Valley was the first track that I did on drums when I actually got back into it after a year or 2 of hiatus, from the scene. But I'm just grateful to everybody, and everybody go out and go check out everybody's music. They're dropping. Somehow everybody's got the bug, Billy, and we're all dropping music right now, and I love it. Ekolu's out. Natty Vibes dropping a new single, and of course we dropping singles too. So
All right. Make
Yeah.
sure that you're watching
Yeah,
out for
I'm
Hawaii
keeping
Connie on all the digital platforms. Chief Rocket, Jamin
Yeah.
Wong on with us here on the broadcast on an Aloha Friday. Well, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, man. Yeah, I'll say give a shout out to everybody out there. Go get the music. Big up to Billy V. Mahalo, man. It's been a long time. You know, you did my first interview back in the day with Hawaii Connie's Island Irie album. And always when I get on these live things, I like to send a shout out to my baby Shady, Wong, shouts to the heavens, my pops, and the whole yard. Aloha, big up, respect. Yeah. Aloha, you guys.
All right, Jamin Wong. It's so good. You know, it reminds me of the days back. I remember it was Fast Eddie's nightclub in Kailua when they did record the live album, and I was there in the house. I was one of the MCs for that evening, and just throughout the years with the group Hawaii Connie. You know, remember back in the day, back in the late 80s, they were playing kachi kachi, Hawaiian, a little bit of reggae. Reggae exploded. They went fully into it. They're kind of getting back to their roots now that Russell Mauga's back in the mix, and it's just neat to see them come around full circle. So Hawaii Connie with brand new music. Make sure that you're watching for it. While we're talking about music, I want to tell you about one of the radio stations. We got wind that there was a little bit of a change, so I decided to find out what that change was. I decided to give Alan Mia a call. He is the director of program directors over at the Salem Media Group, and so I got a chance to catch up with him, and he got a chance to tell me it was on a station that I've actually done work on before. It used to be Oldies 107.9, but now that's kind of a little bit changing.
You know, for the longest time, we've been Cool Gold 107.9, and beginning this past January 1st on New Year's, we thought, you know, what a better way to get out of a COVID year of 2020 and just say, you know what, forget 2020. We're going to go into a new decade. And with that, Decades 107.9 was born. Now, the format remains pretty much the exact same. We're just being called Decades 107.9. We're still going to play the greatest music ever made, and that's music from the 70s, 80s, and now we're going to introduce the 90s. It's hard to believe that, you know, if you think about the 90s, over 30 years ago, it's classics. One of our afternoon show hosts, James Coles, is the DJ here, 80s club DJ, 90s club DJ, classic hits DJ. And you know, one word he kept saying was decades, a decades party here, decades party there. And it really kind of resonated with us. And we thought, hey, if it's hitting home for us, it's going to hit home for our audience. And that's really what we wanted to create here, a station where everyone knew exactly what we were doing.
Well, not only that, but also when you got a guy like James Coles, who was in the mix back in the day, Silly's nightclub and a lot of the nightclubs all over the place. That's awesome. Who's doing your mornings?
Our mornings, I'm so excited. It's Bart Da Silva, as always. It's called Decades with Da Silva. It's from 6 to 9 a.m. Sorry, 6 to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday. And for those that don't know Bart Da Silva, this is Uncle Tom Moffitt's protege. As you guys are heading into work, check him out. Again, 6 to 10, Monday through Friday. You're going to get random facts, our comedy clip of the day. So many things going on with his show. And it just, if you really listen to him, it's really a flashback like you're seeing Uncle Tom.
All right, so a little bit of a change there, and look for that name. Once again, it is Decades 107.9, correct?
Correct.
Thank you very much, Alan, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. My absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me, Billy.
All right, Alan Mia here on the broadcast. Thank you, sir. Always trying to find out, you know, what are the new things that everybody's doing from restaurants to, you know, music stations. You know, even though I love and Hawaiian music is very dear to me, I also grew up in the 80s, in the late 70s through the 80s. So that music's also part of me as well. Let me see here. There's a whole bunch of people that are on. Oh, Bert, hello, is in Palolo. By the way, if you are commenting or you're here, just go ahead and throw where you are in the comments, because we definitely love to hear where everybody is from. Talking about two people that are from different parts of the island. So we've got one who is in Makawao, Maui. That would be Lance Collins, co-producer of the album that we're going to talk about in a moment. And also Zachary Lum, who is a member of the group Keoho, who is co-producer of the new release called Kowili. Kowili. It is, as it was explained to me, this is new and nobody thinks that it's been quite done before, is that they are kind of putting together Filipino folk songs, which is kind of cool because Because if I was talking to my grandfather, I would be talking like this, boy. And so, bringing together the Hawaiian and the Filipino. That's what my grandparents were. One was full Hawaiian and full Filipino. So that's an interesting mixture, and to bring those two together. So I asked Lance Collins from Maui, when you're explaining to somebody about your new album, what do you tell them?
I would first talk about Jose Libornio, who was a member of the Royal Hawaiian Band at the time of the overthrow. And I know everybody knows that Alan Prendergast was the one that wrote the lyrics to Kaulana Napua, and it turns out that Jose Libornio, he was the one that composed the melody to the song, and he was one of the ones that refused to take an oath to the provisional government, and he toured in the U.S. advocating for the restoration of the monarchy. Actually, the sugar workers and then, of course, pineapple workers who returned to Ilocos brought aloha oi with them. And so today in modern Ilocos, if you go to a wake or a funeral, you will hear aloha oi performed as an instrumental song, generally like the night before the burial, and also during the procession to the cemetery. Aloha oi is played, but with no lyrics, because these men who returned to Ilocos didn't speak the Hawaiian language, so they brought aloha oi back with them, but not the lyrics. And so in this album, we use a translation that was done primarily by Lilia Santiago.
Okay. First of all, I'm going to say thank you real quick to everybody online, because everybody all of a sudden started going, your mic's not on. So anyway, thank you very much. That's why in the radio station, actually, if it's not, anyway, never mind. So, just to kind of reiterate, this is a song, Kawili, and it's about Filipino folk songs and Hawaiian music and that coming together. So this is really interesting to hear these tidbits of history of Filipino and Hawaiian doing things together, that have nothing to do with the plantation. This is kind of working into general life, music, and things like politics and the monarchy and stuff like that. So I talked to a story with Zachary Lum, who's the co-producer on this album, and seeing the way that this is coming together, bringing different groups of people together. I said this is kind of like a new kind of aloha aina.
And if we're all going to live in Hawaii, things like an understanding of place, call it aloha aina, things like an understanding of people. And even there's an argument to be made that's also aloha aina as well. Being able to understand that, not from just a perspective of Hawaiian culture, but now perhaps we start to knock on doors that suggest that maybe if you live in Hawaii, no matter what your ancestry is, you have some kind of responsibility to adopt aloha aina and adopt the things by which this specific aina functions and thrives, and thus we thrive as people who call this place home.
All right, so there you go. Once again, Kuwili is the name of the album, and it is available. And I'm going to play one of the songs here and let you listen to how it sounds a little bit.
Don don
Here's another example of something from off of the album. Oops. And one more example here. Interesting in this one, and then, you know, sometimes it's very heavily influenced of Filipino, sometimes it's very heavily influenced with the Hawaiian, but depending on the storyline. So if you get a chance, and if you have Filipino family, kind of dive into this. Kawili is in all digital platforms, but also it is, if you go and buy it at mele.com, there's a portion of the proceeds that go towards nonprofits. So Kawili out in stores now. Mahalo to Lance Collins and Zachary Lum for sharing their wonderful stories on this brand new piece of music. Coming up in just moments from now, we do have, let's see, we have our music video of the day coming up in a few. Want to say hello to, let's see, it says Jimmy Burgess, aloha brother Bill Maili. Jenny says, love that music. That's awesome. Ria says, yes. And that might be a reaction to my actual audio being back too. Let's see, a couple of things that are coming up around the corner. Want to say hello to the folks from St. Francis Healthcare. There is the Walk for St. Marianne Cope, which is coming up a little bit later on in this month. And when we get closer to that, I'm actually going to be hosting the virtual part of that. We'll give you more heads up here on the broadcast. Let's go ahead and give you some of the things that are happening on the weekend. As a matter of fact, we'll go dive right into the calendar right now. And, oh, wait. Let me make sure that my iPad is unlocked. There we go. So, diving into things that are coming up. I know that Kuana Torres Kahele coming up a little bit later on today. Oh, no, he finished that. That was a lei making workshop. He did that at 10 o'clock in the morning. If you're interested, though, go find him on the web because he teaches pretty regularly. Coming up this evening, Ryan Perez. That's a performance live at Hawaiian Brian's. Still Moving Center has a virtual class, Olelo for Hula, live online. Coming up, Hawaii Women in Filmmaking. Wahine in Film Pauhana. They're going to have that, and I believe that's online. And that's going to be at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Coming up tomorrow, Hawaii Nature Center has a family event, Tremendous Oʻahu. That's at 10 a.m. Popoki and Tea, that's a cat cafe experience, 12 to 5. Liengar Yoga Science Center, Introduction to Yoga. Okay, they've got a virtual class, 11:30 tomorrow. Sunday, Henry Capono's live stream, Dukes on Sundays. If you get a chance, check out his live stream. HIF Hawaii has a movie screening. Now, you gotta go check out, since we're talking about Filipino, Lumpia with a Vengeance. This thing was award-winning at HIF, and you've got to go ahead and check it out. Once again, that's going to be online for you, 5 p.m. encore screening. HIF.org, by the way, if you want to check that out. And Hawaii Children's Action Network, they got a virtual panel interacting with elected officials during COVID-19. We'll get into that in just a couple of moments from now. But once again, that's our activities list. Mahalo for Jaslyn for putting that together for the show. And by the way, if you have something coming up and you want to be mentioned, go ahead and email us at studio@billyv.live. Let's go take one more quick look outside real quickly as it looks nice. Well, let's see how it looks outside. Let me see if I can bring that up and we can take a look outside. Yeah, there we go. Waves out on the north shore of Oʻahu. Let's go real quickly over to the gallery before we get into, I've got two more items here on the broadcast for you on this Aloha Friday. Kavika is over in Okinawa, and I was reading that wrong because I know that Kavika's over in Okinawa, and Jenny says me too, but they're not. It's not in reference to a place. It's just saying that. He says, I miss Hawaii. And then Jenny's in the middle of the continental United States in Atlanta, and she says she misses Hawaii too. When we talk about cold, there was a whole bunch of people that were just kind of laughing and giggling on the broadcast and in the comments that, yeah, 66, yeah, that would be cold for them. I understand. Thank you very much. Get out the extra jacket. I want to go ahead and tackle two more things, and one of them is the subject matter of COVID-19. We've had 322, I think it was yesterday, new cases of COVID in one day. And things in the continental United States the numbers are crazy depending on what place you are in. The lieutenant governor of the state of Hawaii is pleading with everybody, please, okay? He gets it, holidays, there wasn't exactly social distancing, and now the numbers are really trending upward. So he's asking for 2 weeks if we can kind of social distance. Stay in our circles. If we're going to go out, make sure we're only staying in our circle when we go out, and not to mix those circles. That's really, really necessary because our hospitals have a threshold. And the more the numbers go up, the more it's going to become crunch time. There's a whole lot of people, and there's a whole lot of lines in the state of California where people are waiting in ambulances for literally hours. Can't get into the hospital, any hospital. There's just lines. We don't want to get there. A lot of people have been saying, oh, Hawaii is a great place because their numbers are low. Well, there's a reason, because we as a people have been watching really, really carefully. Really cool. I guess so. Should I put my glasses back on? So, if you're here in the Hawaiian Islands, we're asking you to stay in your circles. And just be really, really careful for these next 2 weeks, because the way we're looking at it too, that's not a bad thing to ask. Especially in my household, where I'm at risk. We've got kupuna. My son's back from college. Don't know when he's going to go back because the numbers are high over there in the continental United States. So we've got to be careful for each other. And every time that I go out of that mask, out of my house, I am wearing a mask. I'm not wearing it for me. I am wearing it for you. So wear your mask, wash your hands, and make sure that watch your distance, because we want to make sure that you're here for the next show. And when we finally get out of this and through this, so we can all go listen to Hawaiian music live together. You know what I mean? Thank you so much. Okay, I'll get off my box now. Speaking of standing up on the box and listening to Hawaiian music, we're going to play a music video for you. It is my pick for music video of the week, and we're just going to show this real quickly here down on the bottom of your screen while I get ready to play this. Thank you so much for watching. We're always on at 3 o'clock in the afternoons. If you're on the YouTube side, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so that way, actually you hit it twice so that way the bell and you get notification when we go live. Facebook side, make sure you're sharing, make sure you hit the like button. Leave you with music of a group that I had the pleasure of doing, I wouldn't say playing music. I watched them because I wasn't talented, but we got to intermix a lot throughout the 90s and the 2000s. One of them is a dear friend of, well, they're all dear friends of mine, but I had the chance to work with one of them, and that is the lovely Lena Grolangi, as part of our radio crew for many years on KCCN FM 100, on Hawaii 105 radio. And we still get together to do things when we can. But since the epidemic, we haven't seen each other in person. So, sister, love you. Saw this on Facebook. I'll share it with you. The ladies of Navai Ho'olu'u Keala Nui Nui are still playing music today. As a matter of fact, this is a recent video of them playing song together, and I'll leave you with that. Malamo puno, aloha ahui ho. We'll see you on the next show. Take care.
It's